Welcome everybody. Today we're going to go through a nice deep yin stretch. So for this practice, all our props will be beneficial. If you have a couple of blocks, have those handy. If you have a bolster pillow, grab that. If you don't have a bolster pillow, you can use a big cushion from your couch or a couple of pillows from your bed even that you can stack on top of each other. You just want it to have some density to it. And a strap, and if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt. We're gonna start this practice on our backs. So when you're ready, lay down onto your mat and make yourself comfortable. Once you get down there, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let the shoulders drop. And start to breathe in and out through your nose. Allow the body to soften. Let go of any tension in the chest. Nothing constricting your breath and its volume, its capacity. The intention that I'd like to set for this practice is resiliency. The practice of yoga makes us more resilient humans. It gives us the ability to spring back from whatever may try to hold us back or down. If we listen closely in a yoga class, there are many both obvious and subtle lessons presented to us. Ones that make the body and the mind stronger, but also more flexible and buoyant, giving us the resiliency to bounce back from challenge and struggle. And after several practices, your knees get stronger, your spine more mobile, your mind becomes unstuck from the places it's been dwelling in for far too long. And the actions and habits that once caused you pain and suffering dissolve, making you a stronger, more capable, more confident, more resilient human being. Let's begin to deepen the breath. For this practice, don't be in any rush. Be okay with the practice being a slow opening. Keep your eyes closed and just start to rock along the back of your head. Allow the weight of your head to fall side to side a few times, easing yourself back into movement. And then come back into stillness. Take a moment and place your feet flat on the mat with your knees bent. Pick your hips up and scoot your tailbone forward so that the arch in your lower back relaxes. Wiggle your feet open a little bit wider and let your knees and your inner thighs rest on one another. Then take both hands back behind your head. Cup the back of your skull and interlace the fingers. With your elbows pointing up towards the ceiling, take an inhale and use your hands to just peel your head up off the ground, tilting your chin towards your chest, lengthening out the back of the neck. Notice if it's tight back there. Let the weight of your head fall into the cup of your hands. Every inhalation expands you, and the exhale melting away the tightness, the stiffness. See if you can use your hands to peel yourself up just a little bit higher so you start to get into the spine of the upper back. Then take one more breath in, and as you exhale, cradle your head slowly coming back, down, and release. Take the knees and draw them in towards the chest. Reach both of your arms up towards the ceiling and hold on to opposite elbows. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, drop your legs to the right. Take your arms to the left, so the arms and legs move in opposite directions. Use your left hand to guide your right arm across your chest until you feel a little stretch, a subtle pull into the outer shoulder and the tricep muscle. Slightly into the right upper back. Keep your legs as they are. Just lift that box shape of your arms back up through center. And once you're there, let the arms fall into a cactus shape. Bent elbows at 90 degrees. The palms facing up towards the sky. Allow your gaze to fall to the left. And if you like, you can place your right hand on top of your left thigh, guiding you a little deeper into the twist. If you're tight through the chest, you'll feel the stretch there, through the front of the left shoulder and into the bicep muscle. Another breath or two here. And lift your legs back up through center and pause in the middle. Reach both arms to the sky again. Hold on to opposite elbows. Make a little square with your forearms. And as you exhale, drop the legs to the left. Take the arms to the right. Spend a few breaths guiding the left arm across the body and seeking out a stretch through your left shoulder and upper back. bring the arms back up through center. Let them fall into a cactus shape and let your gaze fall to the right. If it feels good, you can place your left hand on top of your right thigh, anchoring you and twisting you just a little bit deeper. Take another breath. Eventually making your way back up through center, lifting the legs, keeping the knees drawn into the chest. Hold on to the shins or the backs of the thighs, cross the ankles, and rock and roll yourself up into a seated position. Sit in easy seated Sukhasana, and sometimes it's nice to prop yourself up on top of a pillow or a block. Finding the forward edge of your seat and letting your knees fall lower than your hips so that you can lift up and out of your pelvis. Sit up nice and tall, then we're going to take the arms back behind us and hold on to opposite elbows again. See if you can wiggle your hands right to the outer parts of your arms, and then close your eyes. Think about moving your shoulder heads back without being forceful. And if you're a little tight, you'll feel it right away. Maybe you can't even reach the elbows, and then it's just somewhere along the forearms, which is totally fine. Stay seated upright. Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. Relax the hip flexors. The work is in sitting up tall, retracting the shoulder blades, bringing the shoulder heads towards the back of the body. More inhale. Stay for the exhale. And at the bottom of the exhale, release the arms slowly. Bring them back in front of you. Place your hands on your knees or your thighs and just shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down again. Give them a few rotations in both directions. And then come back into stillness. Take an inhale and reach the arms up to the sky. Cross your right elbow on top of your left elbow, or your left elbow on top of your right elbow. Lift the arms up a little bit higher. Relax the shoulders down and out of the ears. The lift of the arms. next inhalation, unravel the arms. Inhale, reach them up to the sky, and take the opposite elbow on top so that you've done both sides. Arms lift, send the forearms away from the face, and relax the shoulders down. Take an inhale, reach the arms back up to the sky, look up, touch the palms, pull the hands back down to the heart, exhale. Then come on up off of your block or whatever it is that you're propped up on. Place it off to the side, come into a tabletop position. From your tabletop, you're going to take your 2 blocks, or if you don't have blocks, this can definitely be done without them. And place them so they're about shoulder width apart on the lowest level. And pull them forward towards you so that you have enough mat space to flip over the blocks, just so that you have a little bit more cushion. And then we're gonna come down onto the forearms. So again, if you don't have blocks, that's fine. Come down onto your forearms. If you are on blocks, make sure that the elbows, they're not hanging off the blocks, they're supported on top of them. Interlace your fingers. Walk your knees back a touch so you have a little more space to drop your head between the blocks and your shoulders into a puppy stretch. The forehead can rest on the mat. Let the heart melt down. Stay in it just a little while longer. And just prepare yourself to come out by pressing into your elbows and your forearms. Support yourself, lifting up, come onto one palm and then the other palm. Flip your mat, take your blocks off to the side. Come into a tabletop position on all fours. Then take an inhale, drop the belly and arch the back. Lift the tailbone to the sky. And see if you can stretch out your lower belly. At the same time, squeeze the shoulder blades together and imagine going wider and wider through your collarbones and your chest. Then on your exhale, go the other way.
round the spine. Curl the tailbone between the inner thighs. Drive your hands into the floor and try to widen your shoulder blades. The idea is to stretch out the back of the body. Tuck your chin in. Feel the back ribs expand. And the breath fill up the thoracic cavity within the rib cage. Then as you exhale, slowly come back into a neutral spine.
Take an inhale, reach your left arm to the sky. Twist yourself open, widen your chest, and then we're gonna thread the needle. Take the left arm and slide it underneath the right. Rest on your left shoulder and your left ear. The further you reach the arm, the deeper it will be. Take an inhale, slowly come on back up, onto the left palm, onto the right palm. Do the other side, take an inhale, reach the right arm to the sky, open up. On the exhale, thread the needle, slide your right arm underneath your left, rest on your right shoulder and your right ear, just being mindful of the neck. Be okay with it being a little bit of an awkward situation. Whichever poses are not your favorite, make peace with being in them perhaps a little longer than you'd like to be. Take another breath. Inhaling, bring yourself back up onto both palms. Then bend your elbows and slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. Take your right arm into a cactus shape on the floor. Leave your left hand palm flat like chaturanga and rest on your right cheek. If you have space, you can take the right arm into a full T position. If not, cactus works fine. Take an inhale, you're gonna roll over onto the right side of the body. Tap your left toes back as a little kickstand. Opening up the right shoulder. Front of the chest, front of the shoulder. If you're a little tight, then through the bicep muscle. Come out, go slowly. Exhale, come back onto the belly. Take your left arm out to a T or a cactus shape. Turn to flip onto your left cheek. Roll on to the left side of the body. Another breath in, another breath out, slowly releasing back onto the belly again. Come onto the forearms to make your way into a Sphinx pose. Place your elbows underneath your shoulders and your palms flat. To start, look straight forward and drive your elbows into the ground. Press the tops of your feet into the floor, pointing your toes straight back, and let's lift the kneecaps up off the ground so make it quite active in the legs. And take a moment and turn your gaze to the right. Pressing your sternum, your breastbone, not just forward but upward. Turn your gaze through center, and then look to the left. Still trying to lift up out of your shoulders. Turn your gaze back to neutral, back to center. Come on down onto your belly and plant your hands alongside you to press yourself up and into a wide-legged child's pose. Take the knees wide, sit back on your heels, reach your arms forward and let your elbows drop to the mat for now. Now come up onto your fingertips. Walk your arms off to the right. Right off the mat, drop your right forearm to the floor. Walk your left fingertips a little further than your right fingertips and plant your palm flat. And then as you exhale, melt back down, releasing the forehead towards the mat, sinking into your right hip crease. Big stretch through the left upper back, upper arm, outer shoulder. Take a moment to switch sides. Walk your arms off to the left. Drop your left forearm, walk your right fingertips out. And then melt back down again.
next inhale, walk your arms back through center, and then start to crawl your arms back in, rising yourself back up. Bring your knees together, come into a seated position on top of your shin bones. Take your arms back behind you and interlace your fingers. Seal the heels of your hands, close the palms, slide your thumbs down towards the floor, move the shoulders back, and lift your heart towards the sky. Lean your head back slightly. Shoulders press back and shoulder blades press forward towards the heart. And take an inhale, and as you exhale, release the clasp, release the arms, swing your legs around you, and come into a seated position. Come back into easy seated. Reach for your prop. If you need it, sit up on it. And whichever leg you like to have in front, let's switch it up and do the opposite of the last one. And we're also going to need a strap as well. So hopefully there's one nearby. If not, grab that, reset up. Easy seated on the awkward side. Find the forward edge of your prop so you can lift up and out of your pelvis. Then we're going to hold onto the strap with the right hand. Hold on to one end of it. Take an inhale and reach the arm to the sky. Take the left arm, reach it out to T. Flip the palm back, bend the elbow, and then start to walk the hands further towards one another in cow face arms, Gomukhasana. Hug the right arm towards the head, bring the right shoulder onto the back, and then close the eyes. Sitting up tall. You can even lean the head back into the right arm. Both shoulders in deep rotation. The right one in external, the left one in internal. Two different sensations. I think most of us will feel it more deeply through the bottom arm, the one that's internally rotating. Keep an eye on it. Ask yourself how much sensation is too much sensation, and just adjust accordingly. Sometimes it feels appropriate to go a little deeper after being in the pose for several breaths. And other times we realize that we've gone a little too far, and that's our cue to back off. Up a little taller. Take 3 more deep breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale all the air out of the body. And blink the eyes open. Carefully first release the top arm, the right arm, and then slowly release the left arm. Drop the strap for a moment, place your hands on top of your thighs, and do a little rotation of the shoulders in both directions. And then come back into stillness. Second side, take the strap into the left arm. Breathe in, reach the arm to the sky, place your hand on your back, right arm reaches back, wiggle yourself in to a spot that feels doable, knowing that we'll be in it for a little while. Close the eyes and then notice if the top arm, the left arm, is fading and dropping away from the head. Bring it back in. And put in the little extra effort to move the right shoulder onto the back of the body so it's not just hanging there. Finding a balance between effort, supporting yourself, and ease. Some deep physical release happening in the shoulders. Hold it there. 3 more breaths. At the end of the 3rd exhale, carefully release the left arm, the right arm. Place the hands on the thighs, and again, do a few slow shrugs of the shoulders. A few rotations, both ways, forward and back. And then take your strap off to the side and come up off of your prop. And we're gonna make our way into a combination of supported fish pose and reclined bound angle. So if you've only got a pillow or a bolster, then you're gonna use that. You'll place it back behind you like this. We're gonna be laying back on it. If you only have 2 blocks, then you're gonna set them up behind you like this. The first block on the tallest level and the second block on the medium level. The back of your head will rest here and your shoulder blades will rest here. Then if you have both, then you might be able to prop your bolster, pillow, or your cushion up on your blocks. And that'll make it even more comfortable. And then we're gonna lay back on that. I like to keep a little gap between the pillow and my tailbone. Lay back, making sure that your blocks feel stable. Make sure that it feels good on your lower back. Take your arms nice and wide. Wiggle your feet together, join the soles of your feet, and let the knees fall open to either side. And if the setup doesn't work out right away, that's fine. You can take your time to get things right, so that you can get comfortable in your body, because if you aren't comfortable, then you won't fully relax. And we'll be here for a while. Close the eyes, and if at any point this becomes too much extension for your back, you can take the props away. If at any point it becomes too much for the hips, you can straighten the legs, or you can bring the legs to bent knees, feet flat. Feel your breath moving through your body. Before you move, take another deep breath, deeper than your last. Bring your arms in a little closer. Use your hands to close the thighs, drawing the knees back together. Inch your feet forward a touch so you can just press yourself up off your props. Reach for the backs of your thighs, wrap your arms around them, and bow your forehead towards your knees, allowing your spine to go in the opposite direction. Let your head hang. And see if you can go a little tighter with your hug. Feel your upper back expand and then take a deep breath into it. And a long exhale. And drop the arms, coil your spine back upright, and reach back behind you. Remove your blocks if you've got blocks there. If you have a pillow or a bolster, keep that. Or it can be done without, but it is more comfy with. Sit facing forward towards the front of your mat and take your feet, place them mat width distance so they're quite wide. Bring your arms back behind you. And we're gonna come into a belly twist. Pick your hips up off the ground, slide them to the left and drop your knees to the right. And then keep going, go all the way around, place your left hand where your right hand was, and your right hand where your left hand was. Flop down on your bolster, and you can rest on either cheek, whichever one feels more comfortable. The legs staggered, snuggle the right thigh up towards the pillow or the chest. And exhale to relax into the pose. We're going to slowly switch to the opposite side of the twist. Walk the arms back in. Pick your hips up, scoot them to the right, drop your legs to the left. Turn all the way around and then flop back down comfortably, one arm on each side. Now choose an inhale to slowly rise back up again. As you rise up, you can move your bolster off to the side. Turn yourself through center. If you do have a bolster or a pillow, we're going to slide that underneath the backs of the knees. And we're well prepped for final Shavasana. Lay down. Lengthen out your lower back. Let your feet flop open to either side. Bring the arms down alongside you. Close the eyes. And relax into the shape. Allow yourself to be heavy. Almost like you're weightless. And as you come back to where we started, also come back to our intention of resilience. Perhaps you've already noticed, practice after practice, a change in your body, a change in your attitude, your discipline and your motivation. That when things knock you down, it's not such a big deal. Yoga, when practiced, makes us more resilient humans.
coming back to your breath. Notice the room around you. The little sounds and vibrations. And the things going on outside of the room that you're in. The time of the day. The feeling in the air. Bring yourself back. And we'll slowly transition out of this Shavasana. Drawing the knees in and rolling over onto, let's go to the left side for today's practice. Take note of this less familiar side. Just notice how it feels different. At the same time, you can find comfort here. Thank yourself for your practice. And then just let the practice go as you exhale. Now slowly make your way up into a seated position. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands into prayer in Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. Bow your head down towards your heart. And take a deep breath in. And a long exhale. Thank you very much for practicing. From my light to your light. Namaste.